Tell me if this sounds familiar. You've been talking to someone having a mental health crisis for what feels like forever. You've been patient, really listened, and built some level of trust. But every time you start talking about solutions, they argue, refuse, or start explaining why your ideas won't work. And now both of you are frustrated and the call seems to be going nowhere. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple 3-step process that will help you move from listening to solutions without increasing resistance or losing the connection you've worked to build. We all know that listening is important during crisis calls. What many of us struggle with is knowing what to do next after we've listened to them. How do we make the jump from listening to resolving the call? Because if you move too quickly into problem solving, even good ideas can feel like pressure to the person in crisis. I saw it all the time in patrol and still see it during the scenario role plays and training classes. An officer asks good questions, listens carefully, and starts building trust. Then, as soon as they start offering solutions, the person shuts down. And suddenly the officer's hearing things like, "You're not listening," or "That won't work." The problem usually isn't the solution itself. It's that we've only heard a few facts, learned the basics of the story, and then assume we understand the problem well enough to start offering solutions. But from the other person's perspective, something important is still missing: trust. Maybe we haven't fully understood what's driving their behavior. Maybe we've missed what's most important to them. Or maybe they simply don't feel like we've taken the time to understand their experience. And when that happens, even good solutions can feel premature. And that's why people often resist our ideas. Not because they don't want help, but because they don't believe we fully understand their problem yet. So, how do you move the conversation toward resolution without making the person feel like you didn't really listen to them? It starts with a simple 3-step process. Step number 1 is show them you understand. Before you start talking about solutions, make sure the person knows you've heard what they've been telling you. Take a moment to summarize their perspective, what matters most to them, and where they'd like things to go from here. When people feel understood, they're usually more open to hearing what you have to say next. After you've shown them you understand, the next step is to let them know you want to help. This step is where you let the person know you want to help them get as close to their desired outcome as possible while working within the realities of the situation. You might say, "I know that's important to you, and I want to help figure out what possible options we have to get things moving in the right direction." You're not promising a specific outcome. You're just showing them that their concerns and priorities matter. Now that you've shown them you understand and told them you want to help them, it's time to start working on solutions. And that brings us to step 3. Focus on the first step. When someone feels overwhelmed, solving the entire problem can seem impossible. So don't focus on the whole problem. Focus only on the first step. Maybe that's moving to a quieter place to talk. Maybe it's calling a family member or agreeing to speak with a counselor. Whatever it is, keep it manageable. The objective isn't to solve everything right away. It's to help the person take one step toward a better outcome. Get them moving in the right direction and building momentum. So here's today's takeaway. The next time you're ready to move from listening to problem solving, remember to use this 3-step process. Show them you understand by summarizing, let them know you want to help, and focus on the first step, not the entire journey. Because when people feel heard and supported, they're often much more willing to move forward. If you want to learn more about helping people open up during crisis calls, check out my video here on how to get someone talking when they don't want to. Because crisis is difficult. It doesn't have to be complicated.